right now.
Vandals targeting a San Antonio church, and leaders say this isn't the first time it's happened. Next on the Nightbeat, how the church is finishing its mission while also dealing with the crimes.
And broken headstones scattered throughout a San Antonio cemetery last week. We told you about it. Police and city officials say this wasn't foul play. A man who has a loved one buried there, not buying it tonight.
Plus, what started as a pipe problem is now something way worse. A San Antonio couple got a water bill saying they owed thousands more than usual. KSAT investigates their water woes. But first tonight, a local nonprofit is struggling to do what it's supposed to do, and that is helping people. Vandals and thieves are draining Corazon Ministries' resources, but that organization is still doing everything it can to complete its mission.
Yeah, it's a church ministry. The night team's Patty Santos spoke with people who depend on the church and its leaders, who say this is not the first time they've been victim to these kinds of crimes.
This food delivery van typically serves hundreds of meals to San Antonio's unhoused population. That is, until this week when it was vandalized.
Our hope is to get this fixed very quickly and be able to put it back on the road. But as of today, we delivered those meals in personal vehicles.
Erica Borrego, president and CEO of Corazon Ministry, says this is one example of the problems the nonprofit has experienced this month.
Over the span of a week, we've had a couple of vehicles vandalized here at this parking lot here at Travis Park Church.
2 days earlier, a San Antonio police report says one vehicle had all 4 tires slashed. They suspect it could be disgruntled clients who were heard making threats.
The folks that we serve are challenged, and it really is an unintended consequence of the people that we are going to serve and continue to serve every day.
But as a nonprofit, any disruption and extra cost are an inconvenience to its mission.
We're nonprofits. We keep our chin up. We're optimistic that the solutions will come.
It hurts.
Jerry Ibanez says his family depends on the church's kindness. He hopes the problems stop.
I wish they would stop doing what they're doing. You appreciate what the ministry is doing for them, and stop ruining it for everybody else.
And the church and nonprofit have had to hire security, and they're looking at other safety upgrades. But of course, that all costs money. If you would like to help, we have information on KSAT.com. Reporting live from downtown, Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Patty, thank you. Right now, Bexar County deputies are looking for the people who shot and killed a man last night during a botched car sale. We brought this to you as breaking news last night. Happened around 9 on Hume Road, just off of 281 in South Bexar County. Deputies say that a man and his brother were meeting up with a group of people that they met online to sell them a black Dodge Charger. Investigators say that when the victims showed up in the car, they got ambushed. It's unclear how many people were in the group of suspects, but those suspects got away in the Charger.
We are also looking for the car that was stolen during the course of the robbery. It's an older model black Dodge Charger, and it's a spray painted black, so it's not a smooth finish like what you would normally see.
Yeah, keep that in mind, because if that description rings a bell for you, tell the Bexar County Sheriff's Office.
A San Antonio man accused in a deadly attack on his own family appeared in court for the first time since his indictment today. Stephen Clare, arrested in April, accused of shooting his ex-wife and stabbing his 1-year-old and 11-month-old daughter, killing the youngest child. He's facing a capital murder charge and 2 attempted capital murder charges. The judge presiding over the case asked the state today if they'll be seeking the death penalty. The prosecutor and DA's office says they haven't decided yet. Several wildfires continue to keep firefighters north of San Antonio very busy. By the way, I don't know if you can make it out. The red dots that are on this screen, right here, and right there, those 3, they are 3 separate fires that are still working at this hour. That includes the Plum Hopper fire in Caldwell County, which was first reported about 3:30 this afternoon. These photos actually showed the scene earlier today between San Marcos and Lockhart. At last check, Caldwell County officials say the fire, it's 150 acres in all, and it's only 25% contained. Meanwhile, crews have made progress on a fire that destroyed a Cedar Park apartment building last night near Austin. The Texas A&M Forest Service says the Palmer Lane fire in Williamson County, 37 acres. It's about 70% contained at this hour. And firefighters in Hays County still dealing with the fire that started on Saturday. The Oak Grove fire grew to about 400 acres. But as of tonight, it is 95% contained.
And coming up in a few minutes, I'll have the map to show you the fire weather risk across Texas and our area. But today, we did it. Another record high. We tied it, actually. 106, the high temperature. The old record dating back to 1953. That makes it our 44th 100-degree day so far this year. Obviously, more to come. We'll talk about which record highs are likely to be tied or exceeded in the days ahead, that fire weather risk, which high temperatures were broken today across the state, and looks like the dust is going to return. We'll time that out for you in a bit.
All right, let's also talk energy right now. 5,585 megawatts. It's a new demand record for CPS Energy. The utility says that usage peaked around 5:30 yesterday afternoon. The previous record was set back on July 11th. Now we have tips on how you can help conserve energy right now on KSAT.com.
And if you need help with the heat, Project Cool is ready to help. We have all the information at KSAT.com. You can scan this QR code on your screen. Here's what you need to know. The United Way is teaming up with Bexar County to offer box fans to residents 60 and older. They're available at no cost. Those eligible can call 211 to request a fan. Again, all of that information right now at KSAT.com. Many of our kids are making their way back to school.
So that means that some of them are going to be walking home during the hottest parts of the day. So pediatricians are saying that temperatures above 98 degrees can put children at higher risk of cramps, heat stroke, and heat exhaustion. So that's why you should remind your kid to drink water throughout the day. It's especially important for them to have a full bottle of water before they head home.
Find a nice water bottle that child likes and is excited about filling up. And then that way they can have it filled during the day.
Now, for student athletes and marching band members who are practicing outside, even more important to drink water, experts recommend they drink 2 cups every 20 minutes.
Now, students in Bernie, they're the next to head back to class. Their new school year starts tomorrow. Those starting class at the middle schools and high schools are going to come across security guards and also hall monitors. By the way, the district says that those are civilians who have been paid. They have those positions. They're mostly former military members. However, all Bernie ISD schools are going to have a school resource officer from the Kendall County Sheriff's Office, Bernie Police, or Fair Oaks Ranch Police. And you can find a full list of school district start dates on our website, KSAT.com. So as the school year gets started for students, parents and teachers across South Central Texas, we want them all to start off with a great mental outlook. That's the goal. Tomorrow, we're going to be hosting a town hall called Nurturing Minds as We Go Back to School. KSAT's Myra Arthur is going to be joined by a panel of experts as they discuss questions and concerns that parents, teachers, and students have going into the new year. It's going to be live streamed on KSAT Plus and also on KSAT's YouTube channel at 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. Damaged and broken headstones. We showed these to you. They were scattered across the cemetery, and it prompted police and city officials to investigate. This was at City Cemetery number 3 last week.
Yeah, well, now the investigation is done, and police believe no foul play was involved. The night team's John Paul Barajas has statements from the city and the San Antonio Police Department. He also spoke with the man that's questioning those results tonight.
Well, what I'd like to say I can't say, but it's I think that's a bunch of baloney.
Broken headstones cover the ground of historic City Cemetery number 3 on the east side. Many are toppled over, like the one belonging to Ruben Lozano's great-grandfather. Others sliced in half or left in pieces. What was once a criminal mischief case is no longer being investigated. San Antonio police say there is no suspected foul play. Lozano disagrees.
I just think they need to do a little bit more homework and do some come out and check and see. Looks like they've been hit with something and they just snap.
San Antonio Parks and Recreation sent us this statement that reads in part, "It is uncertain whether the headstone was intentionally pushed or if environmental factors over time caused the original bonding to deteriorate. Adding deterioration over time is a frequent issue in historic cemeteries."
The orientation on it.
Lozano admits maybe not all were vandalized.
Like this one here, you can see where the soil is eroding underneath. Down here
But he
for a while.
questions how natural causes can break only the top half of a headstone.
It just doesn't make sense to me. Somebody had to hit it.
As for his great-grandfather's marker, Lozano's photo shows it was standing upright about 3 months ago.
Which way is this one going to fall if it comes off the... face down, right? Which way is that one sitting?
It's all twisted around.
Right. Nah, I don't buy it.
Lozano hopes to fix it, but with so much history in one place, with headstones dating back to the 18 and 1900s,
Just breaks my heart when I see it.
he hopes SAPD and the city reconsider their decision.
Since it's considered a historical area, I'd like to see more repairs being done. They're trying to preserve history. Well, there's an opportunity here.
Now, City Parks and Rec says they will get Lozano in touch with the Office of Historic Preservation to reset his great-grandfather's headstone. Lozano tells us that would have likely cost him $800,000 if he had to do it alone. The city also told us that they do have standard maintenance or perform standard maintenance at the cemeteries, but their main responsibility is just to make sure that the situation here, the conditions here, don't cause a public safety issue. At City Cemetery number 3, John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Hey, Pete, thank you. We want you to stick with us because the San Antonio couple, this is outrageous. They were shocked that when they got a water bill, they saw it was 25 times more expensive than usual. I know. Now coming up, KSAT investigates their problem and finds out what San Antonio water system says to do if that ever happens to you.
Now is the time to get your tickets to this year's 2023 KSAT Pigskin Classic, one of high school football's biggest events. Bigger than last year because we've added an extra night of football in the Alamo Dome.
Yes, so the two-day event starts with one game on Friday, August 25th, and then we're going to have 3 games on Saturday, August 26th. Tickets are on sale right now, and if you're a KSAT insider, you can get the VIP experience with the best seats in the house. Just scan that QR code on your screen for more information, or just head on over to ksat.com. It's really a nightmare scenario, but just imagine this. You open up your San Antonio water system bill and it's thousands of dollars more than you expect. Thousands. Yeah, nearly 25 times more expensive than it was the month before.
And that's exactly what happened to one couple who tells KSAT investigates Lee Waldman their simple leak has turned into a nightmare.
This is the suppression system for the sprinklers in the interior in case there's a fire or smoke.
It's such a common issue that can happen anywhere.
Broken pipe, yeah, due to the ground moving. It happens all over San Antonio.
Todd Kopp owns this duplex on the city's northeast side. In December, SAWS notified him there was a leak in this pipe and he had a plumber out to fix things up the same day.
How long did that repair take to make?
Oh, maybe an hour. The dig was longer.
Kopp thought the problem was behind him until this showed up in his mailbox.
We get a bill in the mail for 1 million gallons of water, $15,588. We're about $500 to $600 a month on water usage. That's our typical bill. We've had these about 4 years now.
Looking at the November to December bill, the amount due shot up nearly 25 times from one month to the next.
It's a huge burden on us, and SAWS is profiting from that. You know, not only with the fix the repair, you know, but they're charging us late fees.
For the past 8 months, Kopp has been asking SAWS for help or guidance on what to do with minimal response back.
So we just keep paying more than our average bill every month and hoping to get some resolved.
Then the other shoe dropped.
It just says final notice, and we don't know, there's no date. We also got a phone call on it as well. Your final notice, shutting the water off.
We took the issue to SAWS and were told via email the circumstances of this are unique, and they're analyzing the charges and reclassifying several months of rate. The representative went on to write, quote, "We are putting a hold on the account to protect it from interruption." When we passed this information along, it was the first Kopp had heard of it.
It's something you go to sleep with, you wake up with, you know, we're all worried about it and we want it to be resolved.
We asked SAWS what customers should do if this happens to them. They sent us a link, which we have on KSAT.com, that has tips on what you should do if your water bill is high. The representative says they'll work with customers on a case-by-case basis. Kopp says he's still waiting to get his $15,000 bill sorted out. For KSAT Investigates, I'm Lee Waldman.
Wow.
$15,000? Can't imagine.
Yeah. All right.
That's a vehicle.
It is.
Yeah.
Live look outside, 90 degrees. It is warm out there, but, you know, we've been seeing wildfires here. They've, of course, saw them in Hawaii. I mean, all over the place.
Yeah, and our potential's pretty high here going forward the next several days because of how dry and hot we are. Actually, take a look at our high temperatures today, then we'll get to the wildfire potential or that fire risk map in a bit. Now, you look across the state, of course, most of us triple digits. I'm going to highlight the record high temperatures today. Wichita Falls, 113, San Angelo, 110. Those were records, and several others on the screen, including here in San Antonio, like we talked about earlier, at 106. Look at Cotulla, 111 for the high temperature today. Del Rio, 109. That was a record. And Austin had a record today as well. Tomorrow, 80 degrees in the morning at 7 a.m. By noon, we're at 93. 106 for the high temperature with a lot of sunshine, just like today. Basically a repeat. And tomorrow, that would be a record by 1 degree. Divine, 106 tomorrow. Bandera, about 107. Same with New Braunfels and Nixon. Floresville, 107 for the high. And this trend continues. Basically, we're going to see identical high temperatures every afternoon all the way through the weekend. We'll see a degree fluctuation here and there, but that's it. How that compares to the records, 5 of the next 7 days are likely to tie or exceed the record high temperatures. And we had a few showers far to the north of us, parts of central Texas this evening and even into the nighttime hours. None of that's really going to make it here. Most of the action has been smack dab in the center part of the country, Illinois, Missouri, Arkansas, and even some points eastward. Even New Mexico getting in on some of the moisture. Upper level high right here that actually pulls in some Pacific moisture to the desert southwest, and that's one reason why it's their monsoon season, because of that clockwise circulation around the high. Doesn't do us any favors, unfortunately, and it's just going to be the primary driving force in our weather over the next 7 days. So you look at this little donut hole over Texas when it comes to potential rainfall. All this green and dark green indicating the rainfall potential over the next 7 days, and it's just not over us. We are parched. We are very dry. The grass is very dry. It's like kindling. Fires can start very quickly and spread very rapidly. According to A&M Forest Service, the fire risk is at its highest category, extreme, just northwest of Austin, some of the locations along the Colorado River there, and even just north of San Antonio, up 281, that area in the very high category. Something as simple as using power tools that make sparks near dry grass can ignite it, unfortunately, especially in the afternoon. You look at the relative humidity forecast, and it's thick right now. It's going to be thick tomorrow morning, but later in the day, you really see it taper off and the atmosphere dries out really quickly. It's been a while since we've talked about the African dust because it's way out in the Atlantic. It's going to be moving our way again, but I think in very light amounts as we get into next week. By this time next week, very light amounts of dust just giving us a little extra haze. And you'll be able to see that haze because we'll have nothing but sunshine to go with these hot temperatures.
Yeah, with the lack of rain, why not more dust?
Goes hand in hand, right?
Goes hand in hand.
I look at those temperatures and I just get worried for the high schoolers. A lot of them are practicing with their football games that are coming up. I'm thinking about Alamo Heights, especially 16 days. They're going to have their home opener.
16 days. Can you believe it? Hopefully that all clears up by then. But after the break, we will bring you to Alamo Heights for our big game coverage previews. And live action football is upon us. The Texans kick off in Foxborough tomorrow.
We have a really tight bond with all our brothers out here, and I like to call them brothers rather than teammates because we've known each other for so long.
It's a luxury to be able to call teammates family, and a big reason for Alamo Heights' sustained success on the gridiron right now in big board sports. As it reads on the back of head coach Ron Ridman's shirt, it's a great day to be a Mule. After reaching regions in last year's playoffs, Alamo Heights football is once again favored in District 1458 D2. The group is in a bit of a reset after graduating many of its starters from 2022, but plenty of experience remains on its roster. Coming into the season, the Mules aim for another undefeated district record and a deep postseason run. To do that, chemistry and leadership are key.
Team chemistry is one of those intangibles that you never know. Player leadership is the other one that I think when you have those two, and this team has a chance to be really strong in both, then you have a chance to do some really special things in November and December.
We've played I played with people on the O-line, my left guard for 7 years now, tackle football. So we have a really tight bond with all our brothers out here.
Alamo Heights opens its season at home when Seguin visits town. Kickoff is slated for 7 p.m. on August 25th.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
One practice is left on the docket before the Cowboys leave the West Coast and return to Dallas to face the Jacksonville Jaguars for our first taste of live action football. Dak Prescott will not suit up in the upcoming preseason game, thus shifting the focus to six-year backup quarterback Cooper Rush and the third-string QB Will Grier. Last year, Dallas looked to Rush over a 6-game stretch after Dak went down with an injury in the first game of the season. Though more confident, Rush knows the importance of a solid preseason showing.
You just want to go out there and look good. You want to be efficient. You want to move the chains, kind of manage situations, things like that show you can play quarterback. And back then you were trying to make a team, and still it's that same mindset now. And now they're live reps versus another opponent that gets you ready for the real season.
Live action will be here as soon as tomorrow for the Texans, and Houston's hopeful regular season starter C.J. Stroud will be under center. It'll also be the first glimpse at new defensive-minded head coach DeMeco Ryans in game mode since his arrival in Houston.
We want to play with precision, effort, and physicality, and most of all, we want to play with enthusiasm. Right? We want to feed off each other, playing with great effort. We want teams have to feel our energy, right? We want to overwhelm them with our style of play.
The Texans and Patriots kick off at 6 in Foxborough tomorrow. After the break, we talk Major League Baseball. Stay with us. We are back with more big board sports. It's time we talk Major League Baseball. This afternoon, the red-hot Texas Rangers square off against the Oakland A's. No score in the bottom of the third inning until Jonah Bride hits a sac fly to left field. Athletics take the lead. Rangers could bring out the brooms with a win, bottom four. Oakland lines one down the line, but Travis Jankowski makes the diving catch in left field for the out. Texas can't seem to match that energy offensively tonight. A's add another in the sixth, and that's all it would take. Oakland avoids the sweep and puts an end to the Rangers' 8-game win streak with the 2-0 final. Different story for the Houston Astros against the 70-win Orioles. Kyle Tucker going yard for the second straight night to give Houston an early lead over Baltimore. Houston then added 4 runs in the 8th for a big 8-2 win in the second game of the 3-game series. Astros eye the sweep tomorrow, and that in-state race in the AL West continuing to get tighter each day. The Astros are now 2 games back of first place.
All right, Mary, so I know you're new to KSAT, new to Texas, but you have been out visiting with coaches and high school football players. Yes. How's that been so far?
It's been great. You could tell the experience level is just unmatched with the high school football coaches here. They could be college coaches with the way that they talk about the game.
Well, I loved when you talked to that one kid and he said, I've been playing tackle football with him since it was like 5th grade or something like that.
The chemistry. I mean, these kids grow up together.
Absolutely.
It's more than just the sport. It's the relationships too. Mary, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Here's a good reminder of the burn bans in effect, including Bexar County now and the vast majority of South Central Texas. Not every county, at least as of today, but most of us. Sunny, hot, and dry. 106 the next few days.
Just hang in there. Drink a lot of water. Have a good night.
See you tomorrow.